So the other day I woke up and decided I want cheesy biscuits, like the ones they serve you at Red Lobster. So today I'm going to be making them from home while answering your questions. Hey y'all, my name is Asmara, and if for some reason you're new here, hi, welcome. On this channel, my goal is to represent all that Black women are through gaming, creativity, and conversation. But today I'm going to be doing my 10K Q&A. I have no idea how many subscribers I have by the time this video is going up, but I just want to say this as a thank you to all the new people, the influx of new people that have joined over this past month. February has been kind of a crazy month for my channel, so this is kind of like to get to know me a little bit better because I kind of just popped out of nowhere and now there's a lot of y'all. So here we go. I have all my ingredients laid out on the counter. I'll also link the recipe I'm using in the description. So first things first, I need to preheat my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit and butter a baking sheet. There we go. We are professionals out here. First question, how did you grow your channel so fast? This question is kind of hard to answer with like one concrete way. I think what definitely helped is that I already have background in making video. I feel like I didn't have to go through as many steps as I feel like just fresh channels have if you're just starting out from like with no YouTube knowledge, no video editing knowledge going in. It definitely helped that I already had a YouTube channel before, so I kind of already have experience with YouTube culture, how the YouTube works, different YouTube communities I had already been a part of. I have a background in like film and video production in school, and I've also just been making videos on my own for a very long time. So that definitely helped. I definitely did a lot of research before starting my channel. I very much kind of planned my channel kind of like a business plan. Like, who's my target audience? What type of content do I want to make? Why am I making this channel? And then also trying to make content that I feel like wasn't being made on YouTube. Find a problem and then try to do something about it. I lined all that information out kind of beforehand and made sure I had a very clear goal in mind, which definitely helped boost my channel. It's a lot of different things. It's hard to pinpoint one concrete thing, but those are some of the reasons I feel like my channel grew so fast so quickly. All right, the next step is to combine flour, cheddar cheese, baking powder, salt, and garlic powder in a bowl. That is 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. I don't have cheddar cheese, but let's use this Mexican cheddar jack cheese. Add that in here. Baking powder, a teaspoon of salt, and garlic powder I do not have, so we are gonna skip out on that one. All right, next question. If you were allowed to use one hair care product, what would you choose? I know you said to not take this one seriously, but I actually wanna answer this one. Definitely something moisturizing. Or my detangler. What's something that motivates you? Definitely, I feel like, as it relates to this channel, I definitely feel like my mission statement sort of motivates me, and that is sort of to make Black women especially more visible in the gaming space, and to show that Black women, and also to show that people are diverse in the space as well, and that like gamers don't look a certain way or don't all talk a certain way or don't all like the same types of games. Gamers can like video games but also like be interested in other things too. Revisiting my mission statement definitely motivates me to make more content because it is definitely exhausting. What advice would you give to your younger self? This channel is low-key, well, high-key, dedicated to my younger self and stuff that I was too afraid to say, didn't have the confidence to say, didn't have the knowledge to express, or the words to express. This channel is in a lot of ways a love letter to a younger version of myself. I label her my 15-year-old self. I guess I would say like, you are enough as is, without change, without exception. You know, God did not make mistakes when he made you. And so the stuff that you're kind of afraid of and embarrassed of now are gonna be your biggest strengths in a few years. That's what I would tell my younger self. Okay, and non-Rev Sims last question is, what character from any book, movie, TV show, video game can you relate to personality-wise? Ooh, the first thing that came to mind when you said that is The Hate U Give, Star, the protagonist. That was the first book I ever read, which was only like 4 years ago or something. It was 2018 when I read that book. That was the first book I ever read where, one, it was a Black female protagonist, and I really related to her experience switching between white neighborhoods or white environments and then Black environments. That was the first book, and even though my life is not exactly like hers, That was the first book I ever feel like I read and actually saw myself or an experience that I related to in. All right, great questions. But next step. So I need to combine milk, butter, and an egg in a separate bowl. In goes the milk. We're gonna get all the carb, what is in butter? All the sodium, all the things today. 1/3 of butter. Get rid of the salmonella. All right, so here are the wet ingredients, and then here are the dry ingredients. We know that you play Sims 3 on your free time, but do you ever play The Sims 4 too? Okay, so I'm glad somebody asked this question because I've actually gotten a few comments of people asking, do I play The Sims 4, or asking me to make Sims 4 videos. Y'all, honestly, I do not be playing Sims 4. I'm gonna be honest, the moment I stopped caring about The Sims 4 is actually after the cats and dogs expansion came out. I just remember not caring at all that that pack came out. So literally the only packs I have for The Sims 4 are the first 3 expansions, Get to Work, Get Together, and City Living. Even with people that, like, I love their Let's Plays and I love their storyline and their storytelling, I just, for some reason, just couldn't get into cats and dogs. And that's kind of like the period when I just stopped really caring about Sims 4. Yeah, so I really don't play Sims 4. So I'm sorry, those of y'all who asked me to do like Sims 4 videos and stuff. I really just don't be playing that game. I do create a sim. I love custom content, like downloading cute CC for my Sims. So that's probably the bulk of Sims 4 game content you're gonna find on this channel. Oh, so we need to mix the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. I feel like, shouldn't I like mix this up a little bit beforehand? Let's like combine this a little bit. Move this around, and now let's combine the wet ingredients. I have to be careful not to over mix this batter. This is what she's looking like. The only thing is this butter is definitely not melted. This is what she's looking like so far. I'm gonna answer the next question while I hopefully make this look better. What's your opinion about online RPGs and MMOs such as Club Penguin, Habbo, Pixie Hollow, etc.? I know they formed a lot of childhoods, LMAO. So I didn't know that those would actually be considered like MMOs and RPGs, but I guess kinda, like for children. Anyways, little fun fact, a big reason I am on YouTube gaming is because of Club Penguin. I literally, one day as a child, was looking up Club Penguin like catalog cheats. Because like, if you remember, like if you were a member on Club Penguin, you got like all these like cool like clothes and like items. You got all the VIP stuff when you paid like a subscription to be a member on Club Penguin. Okay, this is so clunky. What did I do? But anyways, like I was saying, I was looking up like catalog cheats on Club Penguin. And that's actually how I found, like there's a whole community of people making like Club Penguin YouTube videos. And that's kind of how I started my journey on YouTube, is by making videos on Club Penguin. It's kind of crazy. Like you can really find communities for everything nowadays. But I used to watch people like Think Noodles and like Grazer, if y'all are familiar with them. But that's a big reason of why I got into YouTube gaming. And later I found out about like Minecraft and all these other games. So Club Penguin definitely shaped a lot of my childhood. I also used to play Animal Jam. What was that thing called? Pet Park. I distinctly remember like loving those types of games. Yo, I don't remember if I had this problem last time I made these. I made these biscuits at the beginning of quarantine. I used a different recipe though, but I don't remember having this problem. But let me try to fold it in. This is not a tutorial. If you came here looking for a tutorial, you are in the incorrect place. Who are some of your favorite YouTubers? Ooh, okay, that's always changing. I always have different creators. As of recently, YouTubers I've been watching a lot recently, D'Angelo Wallace, first of all. He's one of my inspirations for like the long documentary styled YouTube content. But yeah, love his videos, love his streams. And I literally drew a blank on like all the other creators I watch, but I do talk about my other favorite YouTubers just generally throughout the rest of this Q&A. This is actually looking a lot more like dough now. Ooh, yeah. Y'all, I think I did it, y'all. So next on my recipe, I have to drop batter by tablespoonfuls onto the prepared baking sheet. Okay, I can do that. There we go. I don't know how far apart they need to be. Oh, you can't even see that. There it is. Best Sims game. Well, in my opinion, so I've only played Sims 3 and Sims 4. So I can only really speak like from my personal experience on those two, and in that case I would say Sims 3. I don't think that's a surprise if you're here on my channel. But after doing research about Sims 2 and like all the other Sims games, Sims 2 seems fire, and definitely the most detailed Sims game we've ever, like, EA has ever made. Well, Maxis technically made. Call Me Kiki just left a really sweet comment. I'm probably not going to include the screenshot for like privacy reasons, but I really appreciate you sending me that comment. That's really sweet, and I hope you get better soon. Take steps towards improving your health. I'm rooting for you, okay? So this is my first sheet of biscuits. These are gonna be little biscuits, little baby biscuits. But this is pretty good. I'm gonna get another baking sheet. Go ahead and butter this up. Okay, I have a few questions about how old am I, when's my birthday, am I in school? So, how old am I? I'm currently 19. My birthday is August 17th. So, as the time I'm filming this in February, so February is my half birthday. I'm halfway to 20, y'all. Am I in school right now? I am currently not in school. I took a year off from school, but I was in college or university. And then Rona happened, and then I decided to take a break. Not being in school has definitely helped me grow this YouTube channel. That's actually one of the reasons I decided to start when I did, is because I'm like, yo, I have all this time. Like, why not start it now? Yo, okay, all the butter just got into this clump of batter. Let me go make some of these biscuits a little bit bigger because I'm not trying to use a third pan. What are your most creative hobbies? I like to consider myself like a storyteller. So one of the ways I do that is obviously through video. I also like to write. I love to do DIYs, crafts. I do like to bake, but I feel like baking is actually pretty relaxing. I just like anything that's creative and that can like express like your mood or your style. Anything that's like aesthetically pleasing. It's what they look like. Now we're gonna pop these in the oven for 10 minutes. What's your favorite game of all time? Favorite video game? First thing that comes to mind is The Walking Dead, the Telltale series, or Detroit Become Human. I love games with a good storyline. Clementine, sis has a special place in my heart. Are you planning to play Animal Crossing New Horizons? Okay, so I don't play Animal Crossing, and that's because I don't technically have my own Switch yet. We have like a family Switch, but like, I know if I bought Animal Crossing, I would be hogging it the whole time, and that wouldn't be fair to my siblings. So I am gonna buy a Switch though, since your girl is in her BAG a little bit with this new channel. So I am excited to start playing that game. What is your favorite MCU movie? Are you watching WandaVision? Fun fact, that is actually in my watch list. I've heard a lot of really great things about it and like sort of the themes it explores. So that's in my watch list on Disney+. I honestly have not seen a whole lot of Marvel movies, but the Black woman in me wants to, of course, say Black Panther. Rip Chadwick. I also like the Spider-Man movies, the Tom Holland Spider-Man one. Favorite place to travel? I don't really travel a whole lot. I like the beach, I like the sun. Of the places I remember that I've been to, New York City has been my favorite place I've traveled to. Favorite book and why? I talked about this a little bit earlier. The Hate You Give is definitely one of my favorite books. But I've also recently read a memoir called More Than Enough by Elaine Welteroth. Elaine Welteroth was the former editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue. She was like the first Black woman to be an editor-in-chief in Condé Nast history. And even though I don't know much about magazines or like that editorial world, I found her from a podcast and I was like, yo, I just really connected to her story. So I picked up her book, and that was just an impactful read. I love hearing about people's stories, people's experiences, how they've overcome challenges and adversity, and especially her being a Black woman, able to relate to her struggles, sort of being one of the first, but only in her industry, to kind of get where she was. I really just appreciated her transparency and her vulnerability, her realness. It's just really good to just feel empowered. And as Black women, we don't always get to feel that way. There's a whole industry making fun of us, looking at you, TikTok. Yeah, that's just something I felt really empowered by. But I love reading people's memoirs and just the biographies of people that I find really fascinating. Oh, there's my oven. Oh, ooh, we sizzling. So my recipe actually says to put butter over top, like melted butter over top of the biscuits, and then put them back in the oven for like 5 more minutes. Okay, but we're gonna put this in the microwave. Look at them biscuits. They look good, okay. All right. All the carbs, yes. What is a game people are surprised to hear that you play? I don't think I have. See, okay, it's only been really recently I've talked about my interest with video games with like normal people, but like people just like outside of like the online communities I've been a part of. So I don't think people are necessarily surprised that I play any type of games, particularly because people I talk to about that aren't necessarily gamers themselves. So they don't really have like a opinion about these games in particular, if that makes sense. But I guess people, more than anything, people are surprised that I even play video games. Go watch my video essay about the social construct of a gamer, marginalizing women and minorities. How long have you been natural for, and what is your hair type? So I started wearing my hair curly summer going into my junior year of high school. Right? Okay, so it was 2017. Summer 2017 is when I stopped getting my hair straightened, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna try to wear it curly. I've never really worn it curly since I was like little, and even when I was little, I didn't really know how to take care of my hair either. So summer going into junior year is when I decided, hey, I kind of want to start learning how to take care of my natural curls. So that's when I started going natural. And honestly, I have a bit of a mixed feelings about the idea of hair typing. I think on one hand, if you're using it solely for like educational or informational purposes, like just to know what textures of curls you're referring to, instead of just saying curly hair, you want something more specific. If you're using it for more informational sake, I think it's helpful. But I also do think that hair texturing and hair typing can honestly segregate like Black women even more, or Black people, kind of creating hierarchies within who has the good hair. I think sometimes there can be like a bit of a superiority complex. So I feel like hair typing is kind of problematic, but I do get it if you're just solely using it for informational purposes. But for that reason, I don't really know my hair texture. I don't have the tightest texture of curls, but I also don't have the loosest either, so I don't really know. But my curls can look all different types of ways because, you know, Black hair. How did you start playing The Sims? If you watched some of my earlier videos, you might have seen that I originally was really into Minecraft YouTube, and one of my favorite creators was Kwik at the time, if y'all, you know, her iconic Minecraft Oasis series. Oh, there's my biscuits. I'm leaving the other tray in there for a little bit longer though, because they're not as brown. But yes, Kwik, she had like a Minecraft modded survival series in 2014. So I had finished watching her Let's Play, and then I was like, well, I have nothing else to watch now. So I went through her channel and saw that she had a Let's Play for The Sims 3. And I'd clicked on this, I was like, this seems interesting. So she literally was just playing like the base game or like late night or something. And I thought that was very entertaining. And then I found out she had some other Sims 3 series for like Island Paradise. And I was like, hey, this game is interesting. So I got it for my 13th birthday, started getting into more expansion packs, and then found out there's a whole community on YouTube that makes videos, Let's Play videos on The Sims 3. So that's how I started playing The Sims. What are your inspirations? Inspirations in life in general, or people I find very influential and empowering, like Elaine Welteroth, I mentioned before. Luvvie Ajayi, she is a speaker, she's a writer, she's an author. She's someone has a special gifting in empowering people and giving voices to people who are often feel unheard. Austin Channing Brown, I loved her book, I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness. Her book, her words, has definitely empowered me this year. Creators like Shameless Maya, I watched her videos a lot a few years ago. She was one of the first people of color, Black women I saw doing a career that I could see myself doing, a creative career where she was producing shows and she had podcasts and all different types of things. She was like a multifaceted creative. She was definitely an inspiration of mine in high school, seeing a Black woman do something that I could see myself doing in the future. All right. I think I left these in way too, wow. Okay, yeah, I left those in way too long, but I wanted to get them brown. Okay, these aren't as bad. These are decent. These are crispy. Y'all, I said those were crispy. Allow me to correct myself. Those are charred. We're gonna see how these taste. Whew, okay, we are back. We're gonna do a little bit of a mukbang. I have half of a sandwich, half of a burger I started eating earlier. And I also have, of course, the biscuits. So let's try these out first. They're kind of hard. Where's the cheese? I feel like I should have put more in though. This definitely tastes like a slightly overcooked biscuit. This is the reason I don't cook, is because I either overcook stuff or undercook stuff. The intentions were all there. It's just crispy. So what games do you play and what is coming in the future of this channel? I want to introduce some new games to the channel. I definitely don't want to be just limited to a Sims channel, although a lot of my early videos on this channel has been Sims. But I want this channel to be a place where we can combine like gaming and sort of vlog style content. A place that can just be a reflection of me as a person and all the different parts of my personality, different things that I like. So whether that is, you know, playing different games, I want to make sure, I want to have a lot of different story games and just games that allow me to be creative and just a lot of creative experimental content that also implements gaming. Of course, more video essays, commentary, just more videos pertaining to that. All right, I'm gonna take a bite of this burger. This is a really good burger. It's from Slapfish Grill. It's a burger, like a beef burger, but they also put like fish or something on top of here, crab, something. We bougie, but just really good. Do you have any tips for people who are trying to find what they really want to do in life? Also, what are your motivations? Okay, so I feel like I answered the second part to your question, but into the first part of your question. So of course, you know, I can't answer that for you, but I can kind of tell you what helped me sort of find more of, I feel like, my purpose for at least this season in my life. I think for starters, recognizing that purpose is something that is constantly changing because life is constantly changing. Like what you need, something that you're supposed to be doing now is not necessarily something that you're going to be doing in 10 years from now. And for some reason, I feel like we're very taught at a very early age that life is supposed to be so linear, which is not correct. But when you think about it, like you go to school, you know, study very specific subjects, science, math, English, etc. You go to college and they tell you to like pick a major and they make it seem like life is supposed to be like this linear path. Like you do this and this is the next step and this is the next grade. But purpose is not linear and like life is not linear just in general. And your path is not going to look like somebody else's path. Comparison is the thief of joy. That's something that really, I feel like, struck me this year. You can't compare yourself to somebody else because you're not even running the same race. So for me, recognizing comparison is the thief of joy, and also comparison is not helpful. Definitely helped me sort of, and is helping me on my journey to, I feel like, discovering what my purpose is right now in this season in my life. One of my favorite creators, Leah Hiskias, she recently put up a video called Something Steps to Self-Love, and she talks more on that in that video. I'll link that. That was actually a really good video she did. Also for me, I'm a really big believer in God. It helps to connect to the creator to define why I was created. But I feel like whether you believe in God or, you know, no matter what God that is, or just the universe or whatever resonates most for you on a spiritual level, I would also say connecting to spirituality is really important. Sometimes we think spirituality and just think religion, but I think it's a lot more than that. And you can be spiritual through meditation and through, you know, whatever means it is for you. But for me, my spirituality, my faith in God really helps. And I'll leave a few links in the description below to a few shows and podcasts that I've watched and listened to that helped me personally on my journey to discovering what it is I really want to do in life. Riley asks, what is your go-to self-care routine? I would say my go-to self-care routine is really just being with myself. Different ways that I can listen to my inner voice and connect spiritually. That's something that always like rejuvenates me. So I've been meditating recently. That's something my therapist recommended I try, and that's been helping with anxiety and just like life in general. So meditation has been helpful. I love journaling, expressing my gratitude. Self-care is just like making time for things that I really enjoy. This year I've started reading a lot of books. I think I've read more books this year than I have like my entire 4 years of high school. Reading stories that inspire me, listening to podcasts that empower me. I would say all those things are part of my self-care routine. What inspired you to create your channel? Did you create a content strategy before you started publishing? Yes, I did. That's for your second question. I think inspiration was what inspired me to start my channel. A lot of different things. I'm not gonna go through all of them because that could be a whole video on its own. But honestly, I started this channel to really just give a voice to, I feel like, people who have been voiceless in especially the gaming community. I think for me, I felt for the majority of my life, I felt like Black women especially don't have as loud of a voice in the gaming space. I've always struggled with feeling seen and feeling heard growing up. I've said this, I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, but I feel like this channel is a love letter to my 15-year-old self. And so that girl definitely inspired this channel and everything that I tried to embody through this channel. I definitely want this channel to be something a lot bigger than just me, but something where people can also see themselves reflected in and be encouraged or inspired to do what they're supposed to do in this world, whether that is video games or whether that's something else, because there is something that only you are able to accomplish in this world. And so the world would be a better place if people were all pursuing their purpose, what they was created to do. What is your favorite way to play The Sims, cast building or live mode? For Sims 3, definitely the actual gameplay, live mode. And then Sims 4 is create a sim. Do you have another job outside of YouTube? If so, what is it? Right now I'm actually in a limbo state in between jobs. I had a couple of jobs throughout 2020 pandemic season. And then I recently got contacted for a job that I applied to. It's basically a video editor for a company. And they contacted me back recently. So I might have that job or I might not. So favorite song on the Sims 1 soundtrack. It's that buy mode song. Hold on, let me pull this up. The one that's like dun 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 dun. Hold on, wait for it. Oh, this is a trap remix. Hey, this is kind of fire though. I can't go that high. Are you considering doing more vlog style videos? Love the one you did. Yes, I actually have one I'm working on right now and it'll probably be out. Right now it's scheduled to go out sometime in the middle of March, but like, my content schedule literally changes all the time. But I actually am working on one. They just take a long time to make. But I definitely like doing those more vlog style videos. What is your birth order? Only child, oldest, middle, youngest? How do you feel about it? So I'm the middle child. I have two brothers, one older than me, one younger than me. Growing up, it was a little bit weird because there's a pretty large age difference between me and my older brother. We're 8 years apart, and then me and my younger brother were 3 years apart. It's kind of funny because I am a middle child, but also low-key feel like in a lot of ways was an only child. Because my older brother, we have such a large age difference, and then me and my younger brother, he has special needs and he's nonverbal, which also makes our relationship different. So in a lot of ways I did feel like an only child growing up. Had to entertain myself in a lot of different ways, which is a lot of the reason I also am into Sims and gaming now. So it ended up working out. I feel like that's just the way God designed my family to be, and I feel pretty good about it now. I'm like, I wouldn't change it for anything. Something I do like though about having like an older sibling is that I have nephews now, and it's kind of cool to see like a child like grow up, because I don't have like a lot of little kids in my family, and so I do like being an auntie. So I guess that's a fun fact about me. Do you stream on Twitch? Would you ever consider streaming on Twitch? I've gotten this question of quite a few times. I currently do not stream on Twitch, but I do want to stream in the future. No time soon, because I feel like I definitely want to focus on the YouTube channel for right now, but I do love Twitch, and I have been getting some inspiration, some ideas from some of my favorite streamers. So I do plan on streaming, and y'all will know once that time comes. When and how did you learn to edit your videos? Are you self-taught or did you take a course? Also, I hope you know that I love your style. Well, thank you. I'm not sure if you mean like my editing style or like my fashion style, but either way, thank you. I would say both. So I'm self-taught in that like my introduction to video was literally, I had this app on my iPod Touch when I was like 11 years old called Video Star. Me and my friend used to make a bunch of like random music videos. So that was my actual introduction to making videos just in general. And then I got introduced to like YouTube and started implementing more YouTube style into my videos when I started making my own content. However, I have taken a film class. I started taking like video and film production more seriously when I was 16. So I went to the school that taught digital movie making when I was a junior in high school. And that's where I got introduced to more like professional film techniques, how to write a script. I made my own documentaries in that class and my own movies in that class. That's where I got introduced to Premiere Pro and learned how to edit on there. And so I've been using that since. So yes, I am self-taught, but I also do have a like background formally in film production as well. So I kind of like to combine both of those different styles into my videos today. What is your favorite song, album, and music artist? Any recommendations? I'm trying to think, who have I listened to recently? My favorite song right now is called Socialite by Jonathan Lynx. I'm not gonna play it because, you know, copyright clapped. It's like a nice summer jam, windows down type song, even though we're in winter. My favorite album, like of all time, one of my favorite albums is called All Things Work Together by Lecrae. That album came at a very important time of my life, but that's one of my favorite albums. I also really like this album called Sunshine by Swoop. I love albums that tell stories, and I really resonated to them at certain points in my life. So those are my favorite albums. Do you speak more languages, or which language would you like to learn? I don't speak multiple languages. I unfortunately only speak English, but I would love to be bilingual. And if I had to learn another language, probably maybe like Spanish or, oh, sign language. I would like to be more fluent in sign language. Like I know some sign language, just not very much. What age did you start wearing glasses, and did you feel insecure about it? I started wearing glasses going into middle school. So I remember like sometime in 5th grade, I like couldn't see the board, and that's when I realized, maybe I need glasses. And I don't think I've ever felt insecure about wearing glasses. If anything, I feel like they kind of add to my face now. Like sometimes I feel kind of naked without my glasses on. You do amazing video essays. Do you have any direct influences from YouTubers or filmmakers that inspire you in that regard? Or can you recommend some? Well, thank you, Katie. I mentioned this earlier, but D'Angelo Wallace is definitely inspired by long form documentary styled video essays. Tiffany Ferg is the first video essay channel I ever discovered, and she makes really interesting videos on a variety of different topics. Amanda Mariana, I found her channel recently. I don't know if this is technically considered a video essay, but Sydney Black, she has this series called Makeup in History where she talks about an event in history or a scandal from the past while doing her makeup, and I find those very fascinating. T1J is a great video essay commentary channel. I've only sort of recently started getting into commentary and video essay people, but those are some of my most frequently watched ones. Would you consider making a podcast? Yes. I just trying to think of like what I would want to make it about, because I don't think I would do one necessarily about gaming. I do love listening to podcasts, so I would love to make one eventually, but again, not anytime soon. But that is something I could see myself doing in like a few years from now. Please tell us 5 things you like about yourself. I'm glad you asked this because I feel like people as humans, we don't do this very often. I definitely love my creativity. I love my attention to detail, my detail orientedness. I love my hair. I love how introspective I am. I like to think about things deeply and critically and try to find like deeper messages in things. I think I like how I can be empathetic and try to put myself in other people's shoes, or at least try to look out for people that aren't as heard in society. I try to look out for people that I feel like are sometimes being excluded or might feel like they're an outsider, because I definitely know what that feels like. So those are 5 things I like about myself. Thank you for asking. Y'all should all do that as well. Comment that below. That'll be the pinned comment. Do you go to school or university? If so, what are you studying? What are your career or life goals you're aiming towards? Thanks. So I kind of already answered this. Yes, I'm in school. I'm currently taking a break. I was studying communications, cinema, film production, kind of a combination of those. My current career goals, I really just want to build a production company where I can help people whose voices are not often heard or valued in society. I want to create a space where people can feel seen and feel heard through a variety of different media. And we definitely need more women of color and more just diverse people in those executive decision-making roles, which is something I would like to change. I can't help but notice how pretty your hair is. Thank you. We have a similar hair type. What products do you use on your hair? I don't have a concrete, like, hair routine. I talked about this earlier. I do live by any detangler of any sort because my hair very easily tangles. Any type of daily moisturizing cream. Always have an oil, a gel. Oh, I also, I twist my hair. Not every week because it takes a long time, but I section my hair. I go through it with like a moisturizing cream, and then I'll usually have like a twist defining cream that I go through, twist my hair up. I'll usually leave it in twist. Sometimes I do it for a couple days. I just leave my hair in like ASAP Rocky looking twists, and then a few days later or the next morning or whatever, when I take it out, they're just super defined curls. But everybody's hair is different though, so you have to find the products that work best for your hair. What advice do you have for those looking to start a YouTube channel? First of all, I really love your icon. That's really pretty. I would kind of say that my advice for this would be the same as advice for anyone looking for like their purpose or however that was phrased. YouTube is definitely like not for everyone, but it is for people. So it's definitely not something you should try to talk yourself out of because it might be something you really enjoy and you only really know that once you try it. Stop comparing yourself because comparison is a thief of joy, and also go at your own pace. If you feel led to start anything, whether it's a YouTube channel, a new hobby, I always like to think about what's the worst thing that could happen and will you live? I feel like that has been really helpful for me because even with starting this YouTube channel, I'm like, well, the worst thing that could happen is that I'll still be in the same position. The best thing that could happen is that my channel could actually blow up and it could actually be like something successful and something I could pursue. But if not, like I'm still gonna be fine. Like maybe this was just not something that I was meant to do, but that's okay because there is something that I was meant to do. You only get closer to where you're supposed to be after finding out where you're not supposed to be. Whether it's for a season or a lifetime, some things you have to experience to get where you're supposed to be ultimately. You might as well try the things that scare you. And one final tip I would give is don't wait for the right time because trust me, that right time will never come. All you have is all you need. So start with what you have right now. I enjoyed answering your questions, so thank you for sending them in. And this is really only the beginning, y'all. So thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. We are blowing up right now. My name is Asmara, and I will see you all next time. Bye, y'all.